All right, we're live. Welcome back, everybody, to Unconventional Asians, where every week we interview an Asian who is walking their own path, who is very unconventional with their lifestyle. So we're really excited today to have Cassie Sun with us.
Hi, it's Cassie
Oh,
actually.
Cassie, sorry.
That's okay.
Cassie, with us today to talk about how we can tap into our alignment. Because a lot of the times we go through life trying to do so many actions to make things work, but it doesn't always pan out that way. But it seems like the greatest way to do it with ease and flow is to actually get into our own alignment, not everybody else's. And how we do that, we're going to talk about that extensively today. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Clover. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah. So I guess I'm just first curious how you got into this, because this is, a little woo-woo, like laws of attraction, spiritual type of thing. So as an Asian, that's quite unconventional. So if you don't mind sharing with us your story, that would be great.
Well, it started when I got married and had my first baby, and then I realized how unhappy I was. So I
Mm,
searched and searched and searched. I went into energy work, and
hmm.
that was really, really cool. And then I just kept meeting people that kept, just aligning me with exactly who I needed to align up with, what I needed to learn. And so meditation, which I
Yeah.
struggled with. We're
Mm.
Asian. Like,
I can sit
how do we
still.
struggle with meditation? I'd love to know in the comments, like, do you struggle with meditation? Because
Hmm.
I did. I hated it. And I thought it was a waste of time.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was going through your mind like when you were meditating? Like, why is it a waste of time for you?
Well, first, I wouldn't even try it because I thought it was, I judged it. And
Mm,
I was so busy. I was the first time mama,
right,
So
right.
every minute of every day was busy. And I thought, who does that? Who sits there and just cares for themselves, for 15 minutes or 30, I could barely take
Mhm.
a shower, right? So
Right.
then I met someone, she was stuck in a car with me for like 3.5 hours somewhere. And we sat in the back seat and she just showered upon me like everything she knew. And she was a meditation teacher and she was going to have a silent weekend meditation retreat
Yes.
coming up soon.
Mhm.
So it just lined up perfectly. And then that changed my life. And so I
Mm.
combined energy work with meditation.
Yeah.
And then what I did for about 10 years, again, I just searched kind of like you, I think maybe like you, just a total geek and nerd about self-development
Uh-huh,
and
uh-huh.
spirituality. I wanted to know
Yeah.
everything, right?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
I tried everything and things weren't working. My life wasn't shifting. Life still sucked. I still was
Mm.
powerless. I was still a victim. And so I realized through all of this stuff is that what I needed was to be whole and complete first, right? And then all of that stuff starts to work on top of it. But
Yes.
when you just try and raise your vibration, when everything inside is screaming, in pain, you can't get there because you need to work on that first. And I tried to skip it. I thought there's
Right.
nothing wrong with me, right?
Mhm,
Everyone
mhm.
else needs to change. I'm
Mm,
I'm a nice person, I deserve
mhm.
nice things and nice people, but I didn't realize I was carrying so much trauma inside because we stuff it down, right? We act like it's not there.
Yeah.
We're ashamed of it and we hide
Mhm.
it. But that needs to come up, and I didn't realize that. So I will talk more about that later. But that is how I got on this journey of where I am today and what I'd love to teach.
Yeah, that's amazing. So you have been pretty much doing this inner work for yourself for about 10 years,
I
you were
have
saying.
on and off, however, completely, but I've been practicing a lot of things that didn't work.
Right, right. It's a trial and error.
Totally trial and error. And so I would say in the past year or so, everything came together. All
Mm,
the dots, all the
yeah.
puzzle pieces just
Mhm.
started to fit. And I was like, how come nobody told me this? How come nobody showed
Right.
me? How can I get this out there? How can I tell so people don't have to waste their time, their energy, um,
Mhm.
the relationships, right? I was ready to divorce my husband. Like I was ready to
Wow.
walk out. And had I known this a long time ago, I wouldn't have even gone there, right?
That's so great that you're doing this work now, that you were kind of a guinea pig and experimented with everything and then found out a much more efficient way to help people to be aligned quicker instead of spending 10 years searching, right? Yeah,
Right,
which is so
right,
amazing. That's why we're so excited to talk to you today on how you got there in the first place, right? So
right.
would you say there's a process? Like, because for me, my understanding is, first of all, you have to unlearn. So you have to almost dig up all your past conditioning and trauma so that you become an empty vessel before you kind of fill yourself with love. So that's my process. So I just wonder how it works for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely
Mhm.
is exactly what you said. We need to empty out what's inside, what's underneath our pain, all of our traumas, all of our misguidance, right? All of our misperceptions, everything that keeps us small, everything that keeps us a victim of life. Oh,
Yeah.
life is happening to me, at me. It sucks. It hates me.
Hmm.
All of that, we get to uproot it and we get to ascend into a higher consciousness, which is
Hmm.
our highest self, our
Yeah.
wisest, most powerful, loving, and creative person that is absolutely invincible to everything and everyone outside of us. And when we get into that state, we are able to access the wisdom that we have inside. And I know I heard this before when I was,
Yeah.
those 10 years where I was
Yeah.
searching, like, that's BS.
No, I totally get it. Yeah. Hmm.
I just want to know step one, step two, step three, and I want you to tell me what to do. I want you to tell me the answer. What do I need? What's wrong? And I
Yeah.
didn't want to go through that way of, oh, I'm the understander, the wisdom, the power.
Hmm.
I am everything I need.
Yes.
That was foreign to me. I was like,
Yeah.
nobody taught me that.
Hmm.
Everyone taught me the answers are outside of me.
Right.
And so what happened was through meditation, I
Hmm.
started to get these, what I call journeys, these meditative journeys.
Hmm.
And so I'd get into this ascended state, and then I would go to where I needed to go in my mind. And I'd have this realization, this understanding, this deeper truth around what was actually going on, not what I perceived,
Yes.
was going on. And it made complete sense. It was an aha moment. My whole body said, yes, this is home. This is real. This is true. Everything that takes you out of alignment feels bad. Ugh,
Right.
everything sucks. Like you're in pain. Everything hurts. Your heart hurts. Your brain hurts. But when you are in alignment with the truth, like the absolute core of who you are, that's a yes. It's a full body, 100%, no question. Yes.
So would you say that's more a body sensation of yes, and it's not a mental yes, or it's both? Because
It is.
sometimes our ego is our mind, right? Like talking to you, all these narrations and conditioning from the past. But like I feel like the body is the wiser part, where it's like telling you what you actually need, and that's more like the higher self. I don't know. That's kind of how I decipher it. So when you said you could feel like an alignment when it's a yes, like how does that actually like feel like?
Yeah, it's almost it's almost orgasmic, right? That's a body
Okay.
yes. It's just like
Yeah. Yeah.
undeniable knowing, undeniable truth that no matter what anyone else says, if someone says,
Mm,
no, you're really not that worthy, or no, you're
mm,
not good enough, or you're like, thank you, but I know beyond a
got
doubt
it.
I've got everything I need. I know
Mm,
what I need to know. I am
yeah.
on my journey. I'm imperfectly perfect, and it's
Hmm.
perfect just the way it is.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
just exactly what you said, the full body. There's not even the doubt in your mind. There's no
Okay.
contrast.
That's amazing. Okay, so I love that explanation. Even though other people might judge you and doubt you, but you know in your heart and mind and soul and in every level that you're just walking the path that you're supposed to walk on. Maybe it doesn't even make sense for other people, but you know it's the truth and you're
You
embodying that.
exactly, exactly.
Mm, I love it. That's great. So besides just the past conditionings and trauma,
Mhm.
what else keeps us from being our highest, most aligned self?
Um, so I think we all know that when we were, maybe 0 to 6, 0 to 7, we
Hmm.
we were just being programmed.
Yes,
We actually walk around in the theta brainwave
that's
state,
right.
which is
Hmm.
hypnosis or
Yes,
suggestive,
right. In the
conditioning.
subconscious, yeah.
Yeah, just the subconscious.
Hmm.
And literally, we're looking around and we're like, okay, when I don't get my way, I get mad. Got it. Okay, um, you know, when I get hurt, someone says something mean to me, I shrink. Okay, got it. Like it's just
Mm,
programming, right? And
right.
from that, we create a belief system.
Mm,
And then everything after that, all of your decisions, everything you do, say, think, feel, everything is aligned with that. It's not
hmm.
good, bad, right, or wrong, but at some point you get to wake up and realize, is this serving me? Right?
Right.
It served me back then because I'm in survival mode. I want to be accepted by my parents. They feed me, they clothe me, they bathe me.
Hmm.
And I want this acceptance. So that's where it all began. Is that conflict between authenticity, which is
Mm,
feeling, and acceptance, which is
yeah.
okay. This took us back to the tribal days, right? If you weren't
Right.
accepted by your tribe, then you were dead.
Right. It's
Nobody's
survival.
going to take care.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's wired in us that acceptance is more important than
Right.
authenticity if it comes to a battle.
Mm,
If you're a parent and you can allow your child to be authentic and know that let them know that they'll be accepted and loved no matter what, right? Then
mm,
there's no battle. They can
that's
be
right.
they can be who they are. They can feel
Mm.
shame around their feelings, right?
Yes, I love that. That's interesting because that takes me to the Asian upbringing. I think a lot of the Asian community comes from a place of survival because, especially if you're an Asian American who immigrated over, it's like we don't have time to be authentic. We don't have time to thrive when the Maslow hierarchy of needs, that pyramid, where the bottom is survival, safety, and then it's self-actualization at the top, right? So
Yeah.
if we're in that instinct of we need to fend for ourselves, we need to contort and adapt to what other people are saying to us in order to make it out into the world so we don't die, right?
Yeah.
Metaphorically. But then I think right now we're afforded this privilege to be able to get past that stage and ascend into a higher stage of becoming the best versions of ourselves, and then we can shine that onto the world and help others. So would you say that's kind of like,
That's exactly it. That's
yeah.
exactly it. We're stuck in survival mode, and that's
Mhm.
our hindbrain and our reptilian brain that just
Yeah.
survive, do whatever you have to do, and at the cost of everything else, right? Which is our feelings. Our feelings are our guidance system. They tell us when we're in
Yes.
alignment and when we're not in alignment. And
Yes.
we numb that out,
Yeah.
then we're like, who am I? I'm
Hmm.
lost in this world. I don't know why I'm here. What's
That's so
the point,
true.
And we lose that authenticity in our power
Yeah.
to create, our power to overcome, our
Hmm.
power to just be, like you said, our highest, our most thriving self that we were absolutely meant to be. And then we feel sucky, like that's that non-alignment, that's just like,
Right.
and then we're like, what do we do? Right. And
Right.
that's where I want to help people. Everyone's kind of like stuck of like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm here, I want to be here. What's the problem? Why
Hmm.
can't
Exactly. Yeah. Then would you say tapping into your feelings is a way to kind of get closer to your alignment?
Absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. You have to start with your feelings, what
Hmm.
you're feeling emotionally and what you're feeling physically in your body, that tension here, the butterflies there, whatever, and your thoughts. A lot of people try to dismiss our thoughts. They try and
Hmm.
say, well, they're negative. So just change them into positive, right? And that's what I see as positive toxicity.
Hmm. Hmm.
And that actually, you want to really embrace what you're feeling and thinking, because then you can shift it. But if
Right.
you don't, if you just pretend it's not there, it's still there.
Right, because then it got shoved down to the subconscious, which will stay longer. What you resist persists, right?
Exactly. And then you try and do these things on top, all these strategies, but
Right.
you will constantly sabotage yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's not, people think sabotage is a bad thing. It's actually just you loving yourself into alignment with your belief system. Okay. So it's like,
Mm.
oh, this is your belief system. I'm going to try and help you keep that. Because if you don't, you would literally go crazy. You'd be like, oh,
Ooh,
am I shy? Am I outgoing? Am I smart? Am I stupid? How do I show up today? Like, it would just go crazy.
interesting.
Yeah.
That just gave me an aha moment just now. That's a bit fascinating. So you're saying our coping mechanisms is just an other way our body is helping us to survive. So for example, if we shove down a feeling of guilt or shame, then we eat it away eating chips, for example, because that's me. and then it's just because but my body wants to feel good. But because I didn't address the underlying feeling of shame or guilt, then it's just using another way to cope with it. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, that is definitely part of it. Is
Okay.
that
Okay.
with our cravings, for sure, we are trying to fill a void, right? We're
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
supposed to be, we want to be, we are underneath our pain. We're whole and complete.
Right.
But when we don't connect with that, then
Yeah.
we have all these holes. These holes are where our power we've just scattered out into the world.
Right.
Oh, you hurt my feelings. That's a little bit of my power. I'm giving you power over me.
Mm-hmm,
Oh,
mm-hmm.
you did this, you did that, and so we have all these holes, and
Right.
then we feel that's not home. That doesn't feel good. How
Mm,
do I feel good? Chips,
right.
chips help me feel good.
Yeah.
They feel great. It's that temporary instant gratification that
Right.
helps you in the moment, but long term, right? It hurts you because it doesn't address the problem, and then you have more problems.
Right. So then the first step is to actually address the emotions then.
Address the emotions, address where you're losing your power, and
Mm,
bringing it all back into you because it's your power. It's not there.
yeah.
We give
Right.
away freely, but you collect it, you have it as yourself, and you are able to let go of the things that really hurt you and
Mhm,
weigh you
mhm.
down, right? We're here and we want to soar,
Mm,
but we have all this baggage,
yeah.
all this weight, all this pain and suffering and misunderstandings of everything. And then we can't lift off,
Right, because
we're
it's too heavy.
we're eating chips all day and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
not addressing this crap here. We need to get rid of
Right,
the crap.
right, right, right.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's really applicable to a lot of people right now in this harder time during the pandemic, where the coping strategy is just using, food or alcohol or whatever addictions in order to numb out their true feelings. But like you said, it's so important that we do that. So how do you do that? Will you say meditation is one way?
Right. And so what I'd like to do is I will actually tell you guys the steps that
Mm,
I would like to teach to you guys in a masterclass where I have more time for each step.
yeah,
But I still want to share with you the steps because I think it's very important.
that would be great.
Okay, so like the first step I call recognize. Okay, this
Mm,
is where you awaken to what's alive inside of you. This is your
mm,
self. Sometimes we think, oh, we suck. We label it and we don't want to look at it and we judge it. But really, we want to awaken to what's alive inside because that's part of us, right? We
mhm,
want to love everything about us. And so, what I do is I help people access what they're experiencing. We want to know what you're experiencing in this human form. Okay.
mhm, mhm.
Now, sometimes we think we know. So let's say we're angry, right? I'm like, okay, good. You're angry.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you right now anger, frustration, irritation, annoyance, all of that is a surface level emotion. If you
Mm,
dig deep, you're going to know every single time, 100%, it's coming from somewhere lower, deeper. I'm actually
ah,
sad. I'm actually hurt,
right.
right? And then I puff up in anger because I want to fight you, or
Ah,
with anger, it could be fear,
right.
right? I'm scared of something, or limitation, lack, fear, or scarcity, right? There's other things lower than anger. So what I would do is help people recognize what's deep down inside
Mm.
that we need to address.
So you're saying that anger and frustrations is the surface level emotions. And a lot of times people misidentify that as the only emotions we feel, but there's actually another onion layer, or more onion layer underlying that made us use anger as the emotion to cope in the outside world.
Exactly. And so we
Okay.
feel better, like, oh, we feel powerful when we're angry. Then I can blame you and judge you and yell
Mm.
at you. And we feel all this power, right? But inside we feel powerless.
Mm. So
That's
it's
the
actually a
problem.
defense mechanism,
It is a defense mechanism. Exactly. The
but it's
fight or
not the
flight, right?
true emotion.
It's not the true emotion. No, but
Mm.
you know, maybe you feel sad or hurt or this or that. But what I want to help people do is discover all of their feelings, what they're feeling emotionally and physically,
Yeah.
and all of their thoughts. I call them jackal thoughts. And
Okay.
it's through nonviolent communication. Did we
Yeah.
talk about that? Okay.
Yeah. I've done it before, but like I think there's another live with actually May.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but I did see that you guys did
Yeah.
that, and
Yeah.
it's so powerful. But the
Very.
chakra language, they don't talk about it enough. It's actually
Mm.
huge, and it's very powerful. It's a very constructive way to use what you're already saying in your head, you know, and
Mm.
transform it. You
Yes.
know, I know we're Asian and we're totally geeky, and like there's the first law of thermodynamics that says your energy
Energy cannot.
it cannot either be created or nor destroyed. It can only be transmuted. And
Mhm.
so we take all that anger or frustration or hurt or pain, suffering, all of that, and we transmute it. We use
Mm.
it, right? Instead, what a lot of people are doing nowadays is just breathe, right? Just breathe it out. Just breathe it out. Just go to a happy place. Be safe. Da, da, da. And
Mm.
there's no transformation. It's
Oh,
just layering on top of it.
interesting.
They do that with the
So
kids.
you're saying with anger, it's actually not good just to breathe.
It can help, but that's not the solution. That's not going to heal you. It can help you in the
Ah.
moment, right? If you're angry in the moment, yes, if you want to calm down, breathing is helpful. But if you want to actually transform that energy and use it to help you ascend, right? It's like fuel, right? You're like
Mm.
a rocket, and you need to ascend. You need to get up. You need energy, right?
I
You can
love that.
use your energy, your own
That's
energy that you're
amazing.
already experiencing.
So you're saying then anger is actually useful.
Anger is useful. It is useful. All of it is useful. The feelings, the pain, all of it is useful, is purposeful, is valuable. But we aren't
Mm.
taught that. We're taught that,
Yes,
well,
we're shamed
that's
for it.
yeah. And that's low vibes, right? No low vibes allowed, only high vibes.
Mhm.
It's well-meaning, and I don't mean to make fun, but that's where I was stuck for 10 years almost, right? I
Right.
was just like trying to be high vibe when I was so angry inside, or
Yeah,
I was so hurt and in pain and powerless to my own emotions,
yeah.
right? Uncontrollable. And
Mhm.
so it's not the answer. It's helpful, 100%. But you need to get to a point where it's helpful.
Mm.
So
Okay.
one example is, I know you said, oh, let's share stories. You know, I remember being so mad at my daughter. Okay, me and my oldest would do this all the time.
Mhm, mhm.
Terrible. And I remember being so mad at her. I was in the kitchen. I removed myself because I knew I would blow up.
Right.
And I got to the kitchen. I said, "I am peace. I am peace. I am peace. I
Yeah,
am peace."
yeah, yeah.
I said it like 1,000 times, and I was
Uh-huh.
like, I finally screamed. I'm like, I am not at peace. I am mad. And that all, if I had known back then, I could have used that to help myself
Mm.
transcend and ascend into the place where I needed to be. Instead, I kept shutting it down as if it's
Yes,
bad. You're a bad mother, right?
right.
That is wrong. Don't be mad at your daughter like this, you know?
Mhm, mhm. But
Be
that's just
peaceful.
human, yeah, like just being human. It's okay to get mad.
Yes.
Now, I'm really curious that how do you transcend that as fuel?
Yes. Okay. So, um, let's see. What you're going to do is you release it. So you're unhooking it from your body, and you're
Yeah.
releasing it. And then you are, well, I think I have to share the whole thing with you.
Okay.
When you're angry, I'll share this part with you because I think it's really important. When you're angry, okay, let's say, or sad or mad or whatever, the first part of what I would share in the masterclass is you say all the things you want to say. You know what I mean? Where you talk, you curse, right? You talk of like things like you would never want any other human to
No
hear.
filter.
Pardon?
No filter.
Unfiltered, because
Mm.
that's where the problem lies, is when we filter it. Okay.
Mm.
It's in there. We might as well get it up and out. You go to the bathroom, close the door, don't let anyone hear you, whisper it, say it out loud, say it, yell at yourself in the mirror, whatever you need to do. And you actually, you connect with it. And then at that point, you can release it. Right.
Huh.
And you really need to just, you really need to embody it and accept it. This is my human self. I'm not perfect. I'm not meant to be perfect. I'm okay not being perfect. This is my human self. And also know that emotions, they trump logic every single time. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time. So it's illogical, and that's okay. You know, it's like the kids with the cookie, right? And the cookie breaks and they're like, you know, it's the end of the world. And you're like, you know, it's the same cookie, just eat it. And we make them like feel bad, like, just get over it. It's the cookie. And they're like, I want the cookie, I want the whole thing, you know, and I like to eat it and see the shapes. And, you know, I want it to get big. And this, you know, like in their minds, it's totally justified, right? In our minds, it's totally illogical. Just
Right.
eat it, right? Get another one, whatever, you know.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
don't want
Totally judging. Yeah.
totally judging them, making them feel bad. Like, yeah, or maybe we're embarrassed, you know, maybe they're yelling it in front of
In
other
public.
people. And
Right.
we're just like, shut up.
Yeah,
Just like,
yeah, 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 yeah.
and then they shut down with your authenticity. They're like, oh, it's not safe to feel what I feel.
Mm.
And it blows up, you know, 20, 30, 40 years later.
Right. Now, so it is okay for them to, you know, word vomit, all the cursing or whatever it is. How do you act around that person when they're angry? Because one thing I'm getting confused is that I understand that everyone is entitled to their emotions, but then we also don't want to hurt other people in the process. And
Exactly.
we are personally responsible for our emotions. Other people are not. So how do you navigate that?
Yeah. So what I do is, if I can do it in the moment of anger, I go to another room. I
Mm.
close the door. I'm promoting not saying this to any other human.
But what if it's your child?
Yeah. So, oh, and for them, I let them say it. So I use a bucket. We put a little bucket and I say, put it all in the bucket. Say all the things, you know, and if it's about the sister, you know, I'm not going to do it in front of the sister.
Got it.
Right.
Oh,
If it's in front
interesting.
of me, I don't care, you know, it doesn't
Yeah.
hurt me. They're mad,
Mm.
or, you know, they don't want to clean the room. They want to do whatever. It doesn't hurt me. I want to be there for them, for the process. Put it in the bucket. Let's fill it up. Put all the gunk out. Are you done? No? Okay. I want you to feel done. I want you to feel empty. I want you to feel like you have nothing else to say. And so as adults, what I would do is have them, sometimes they say so much, they go back to childhood. And they're like,
Mm.
oh my gosh, this is from that one time when that one person did that one thing and I got so mad, or I got so hurt. And then you allow yourself to journey in your mind and go where you need to go with your words, right? Your
Yes.
words are powerful. And that's why I don't want you to stuff it down. I want you to let them out, because they'll guide you. They'll
Mm.
guide you because it has come from something in your past. It has.
Yes.
That's where all our programming comes from. So if you can allow yourself to get yourself there, it might not make sense. You might not even remember, like, I don't even know what this is, you know. You just go with it so you can heal it on the deepest level possible.
Mm. So good. That is amazing. That's so good to know because recently I have been told to actually release my anger. I have this issue of suppressing my feelings and always being the positive person and always happy and, all of that. And I never ever blame anyone for anything, no matter how ridiculous it is. So then I was actually coached to do that on a letter, to go full blame mode, say everything that I needed to say. And what a powerful exercise that was, to fully release everything when I felt, like you said, the baggage was gone. I felt a lot lighter. And it's so fascinating. Like you said, everything came from childhood, that one incident where I took it in and I never processed it at the time because I didn't have the emotional intelligence or the tools to figure out that's what you're supposed to do to release. Then throughout the years, I had all these incidents lined up to where I'm like, what is it? A hidden time bomb, right?
Yes.
Very fascinating. Wow. And so with the subconscious part, I just want to explain a little bit as well for those who don't understand, because I just started to understand the neuroscience bit of it in terms of subconscious and how this works. So at the age of 0 to 6, like you said, it's all theta brainwaves, which is in the subconscious mind. So there is no analytical skills as a kid, right? And so whatever that they're exposed to, whatever information, they don't know how to logically think if it's right or wrong. That's why it's so important for kids to learn, like, to get the right information when they're younger, because there's no filter. However, we now live as an adult carrying all those things when we were like before 6, but we're like a child in an adult's body without knowing that. And because it's so in the subconscious, we're just running every day in this with the same programming. So it's therefore so vital for us to uncover that back to the conscious level, to realize, hey, this is what I've been doing. And for even to teach kids to kind of, start releasing every time something bothers them. Just want to add that point.
No, that was beautiful, lovely. And I agree 100%. And so also another thing that's cool about the subconscious is that it's everything from your past, right? All of your hurts, your pain, your experience, every single thing. And then you want to create something new.
Right.
But how do you create something new from your old subconscious programming? It's everything you've ever known, but everything you've ever known is not what you want. What you want is something new, something outside your comfort zone. It's something, I want success. I want a lover that's going to love me unabashedly. I want this, I want all these other things that I don't have. But so now we got to reprogram our subconscious mind and live more consciously. You need
got
more,
it.
right. And then you're in alignment.
Got it. So are you saying that because if we don't reprogram our subconscious mind, we don't know what we don't know? So then we're reinforcing the same programming and same pattern over and over and over again. So we don't even know what's possible in a way.
We don't know what's possible. We don't know
right.
Exactly.
Because we've only lived that life before. So the turning point then, it's if we can change those programmings, then we are now able to tap into unlimited possibilities.
Unlimited.
Right. And so is that why visualizations and affirmations and vision boards and all of that, those things don't work, because that's only working at the conscious level?
Yes. And so, how, let's say you have a New Year's resolution, right?
Right.
And it's so hard. Like, I don't know if I have one.
Nobody can stick to it.
It's so hard. It's out of alignment with my belief system because it's something new and different, and it's hard. So it doesn't mean you can't achieve from your subconscious, but if you do, it's hard. It's effortful. It's working against every single thing that you want in your body. Your body wants to sleep in the morning. Your body wants to eat chips. Your body wants to, do all these other things, and you're like, okay, I'm going to make myself force myself. So that's the masculine power system. It has nothing to do with gender. We all have masculine energy. We all have feminine energy. Nothing, no, like no one's better or worse or something like that.
That's right.
But that is a masculine power system where we create, we make something happen, we do it. It's like A plus B equals C. And it's very linear, and it's all about the outcome, right? The goal, get the goal, get it done, you know, just get her done. But the feminine power system is how we create our lives. And we weren't taught this. Our feminine power system is all about ease and flow and alignment. And it's about, you know what? It's not a straight line. Sometimes you're going to go backwards. Sometimes you're going to have to take a detour. Sometimes you're going to do corkscrews, you know, sometimes whatever. It's about the process, because that's what you need to do to become who you need to be to have the thing that you want. Right? It's all about becoming versus doing. And so with manifesting, it's about marrying the two. Okay. For me, at one point, I was too far into the feminine. I thought, oh, I'll just visualize it and it'll plop in my lap. I don't do anything, you know, it's just going to come to my door. Right. But you have to marry the two and not just do one, because that doesn't work. And just not just do the other. Oh, I'm in flow. It's just going to attract into my life. You know, you get to marry the two. And that is where the power is. The magic is. So it's a little bit scary because you have to do, but it's also very fluid. Right. It's very, wow. It's just almost natural. It's a natural, I always say it's the side effect of who you become. So you need to become who you need to be to have the thing that you want. And you don't have to strive so hard and achieve and work and force yourself to do something.
That brings me to the manifestation formula. Be, do, have. So it's like becoming that person, then you take the aligned action, which is the doing part, and then you'll have the thing that you wanted that comes to you effortlessly.
I mean, there's still some effort, but it's not the going against who you are effort. It's just the effort, you know, achieving, hey, maybe you need to go online and do a live or something outside your comfort zone, right? You're still doing, you're still efforting in that way, but not in the way of, oh, I'm so shy, I can't do it. Like it's against your nature, right? And you have to force yourself. It's possible. People do it all the time, but it doesn't feel good. I want things to feel good for people. Like you said, aligned action. That feels good. It's a little scary, but it's still aligned with who I am and who I want to be.
Yes, yes. Right. And people can sense your energy too when you're not aligned.
Yeah.
When you're forcing yourself, then people are like, okay, it's painful to watch, you know?
100%. And I've been there. I guess.
No, for sure. Everyone has. Absolutely. But that's why it's so important that we address how we do it a different way, which is so contradictory to what everybody else is doing right now. I'm going to go back into like Joe Dispenza. I've been geeking out over that with the neuroscience, because he's talking about the Newtonian laws of physics, where like you said, A plus B equals C. So cause and effect. You have to do this in order to get this, which is what everybody is operating on nowadays. Yes. But it takes effort, right? But then with the whole manifestation process, then it becomes, okay, you have to become that person, and you'll become an aligned action, and then you manifest or have the thing you want, which is so much easier. And it would almost come to you more magnified than you can ever imagine.
Exactly. Yeah. Sometimes we have the vision board, right? And we're like, this is what I want. But really, when you don't focus so much on the outcome, you just focus on who you are and who you become. And then it's like, oh, you're actually aligned with something even better than that, right?
Yes.
And then when it doesn't show up in that way, you're like, oh, it's not working. I have that on my vision board. But really, there's an opportunity over here that's like going to bring you to something even better, but you won't even recognize it. You're like, no, I want the blue car, whatever.
Yeah, because you then limited by your ego, because your ego thinks only of what you already know from your past programming. So again, you're not seeing past any more possibilities if we don't surrender. Now, but that's very scary though. Like uncertainty is some humans do not do well with.
I hear you. And I get that a lot from people, the uncertainty and the difficulty people have to trust and surrender 100%. And that's part of what I teach is it becomes, I help them deprogram And then I help them reprogram
Mm,
effortlessly.
mm,
And then it's that aha, that yes, that they connect with. And then it's kind of
mm,
like, you can't shake it. They can't not trust anymore. You can't not know
mm,
what know, because you already know this knowing of life supports me fully and completely in every aspect. Love, life is loving me into alignment all the
mm.
time. And so another story I can share with you is we had a flood a few years ago, maybe
Okay.
last year. We had a flood,
Uh, uh.
6 inches in our we had to wade in the basement, and
Oh
all of our
no.
stuff. So we had so much stuff down there, all of it garbage. um, Pictures from
Mm,
from years and decades of pictures from high school, right?
no.
um, Stuffies, toys. I lost 3 suitcases of clothes. Okay, I know all you women out there know that that's painful. I lost my shoes. I lost like tons of stuff down there. And so what I learned from that was that life was loving us into alignment with that which we wanted. So for about
Mm,
5 years, we wanted to move, but we wouldn't. Every time we thought about moving, it was kind of like, oh, but we have to pack. We have to organize. We have to purge. We have to
mm,
just throw it in the basement and we'll deal with it later. So our basement became junky. It became all storage, useless stuff, things that could have benefited another family, right?
mhm.
That we didn't want to deal with because we're so busy, right? Trying to move. but
Yep.
but our energy every time we thought about moving was low. It was like,
Right.
oh, gotta organize the kids' stuff.
Mm,
And so we learned that through wanting to move, we ended up moving because life forced us to move, right? It was the mama bird who forced the baby bird out of the nest. The baby bird's like, I don't want to fly. I'm scared. I don't know if I can fly. I'm very safe here and comfortable. I'm curious, but not that curious. I don't really want to jump out of the nest. I want to kind of stay here forever, mama. And mama bird's like, it's time for you to go. It's time. I've waited and waited and waited, and you guys aren't doing what you need to do. You're not taking aligned action. You're living in fear. And
mm,
I'm going to help you. I'm going to love you into alignment with that what you want. And she shoved us out of the nest.
mm.
And it was painful. We lost a lot of stuff, but that's
Yeah.
what the cost was. And also we feel lighter now that we let all that go,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
We're like, wow, we can move now. Like it's easier to move now because we don't have to move all the junk.
Right. That's so interesting because it seems like rock bottoms for people, it's like the universe way to remind you to like, oh, time to like get back on your alignment. Because with the pandemic, I think it really steered people in many directions that they've never imagined. Um, well, with me, my divorce was the best thing that happened to me because
Oh,
it forced me to really like, whoa, yo, you're not like aligned at all. It's like you're supposed to be like that way, but you're going the conventional path, but you're born unconventional. Do not, right? That's why I said it's the best thing for me because I'm getting back into my authentic self, and I really feel like it's my universe, the universe supporting me in a way. But in that moment, it feels like the worst thing
the
for
worst.
you.
Yeah,
But in a way, I just want to encourage people, if you believe in, the universal source and energy, sometimes really it is in a way, the universe trying to help you, but we just don't know better in this moment until we kind of look back in hindsight.
exactly. And even still, some people get stuck in that victim state and there's
Right.
no judgment. Like I've been there. We've all been in that
Absolutely. Yeah.
state. And so that's just where people are on their journey. But when
Mhm.
you're stuck there, it's hard to even see in hindsight. It's almost like, oh, another
Mm,
bad thing happened to me. I'm not, worthy, or life hates me
mm,
ever. And so, gosh, like being on the other side, I want to help people ascend
yeah.
from that space of powerlessness because it is all within you. I thought there's no hope, right?
Mhm.
To my knees many times, believing that there's no reason to go on, no reason to try, no reason to get up, right? I had no vision of how to get out of my problems and my issue. And I just told someone today, he said something about the light at the end of the tunnel. And I said, what you'll find is that there is no light at the end of the tunnel. You are the light.
Oh, I love that.
You shine and you light up wherever you are, however dark it is not something out there, right? I used to think that. I used to think, oh, it'll come, just follow the light, keep going. No, it's you. And that's hard. It's hard to hear, right? When you're in such a powerless state. I mean, if you had told me that a couple of years ago, I might have shunned it. I'd be like, yeah.
Right. That means we have to take personal responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. And it is hard for people to take that responsibility, but also to believe in themselves, to know it all starts with you. We've heard that how many times, right? Be the change you want to see in the world.
It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah, but it's so hard. We're like, for me, I thought, I'm great. What do I need to do to change? And then now on the other side, I'm like, I had to change everything. I had to change everything about myself. No, the surface level, yes, you're nice, you're kind, you help people. No, the deep stuff, that stuff has to change. And you're not a bad person, right? No. I thought, oh, if I have to change, that means I'm bad, I'm wrong, I'm stupid, right. I should know better. No, it's not that at all. We're all human and we've all done it. We've all been there and there's no shame. I love it. I'll tell you guys any story you want to hear because there's no shame anymore. I will. Awesome. It's terrible. Yeah. But when you own your story, you own your power.
I love that. That's amazing. So good. It's so true because I feel like your analogy in terms of we are already light and love within ourselves. It's just more about undoing the dirt on top, right? Because it's like we're that diamond hidden, dusted. And I heard that as a kid, like my mom used to tell me that, but I didn't get it until I think right now it's like, oh, I see it now. It's like you got everything within you, like inside the wisdom and everything. But then we're just so covered by the programming, by society, or the noise, the doubts and the insecurities that it's clouding our light. Then when you're in that fog, you can't even see you're in the fog. But once you can uncover a little bit with the different techniques that you are going to teach in your masterclass, then you're like, whoa, the light just started shine a little bit brighter. And then the more you kind of clean that diamond, then you're like, whoa, now you can really shine that bright and help other people and yourself as well.
Right. We can't help other people when we're in the survival state, right? We're not thinking about other people. We're thinking about how do I get out of this hole, right?
Yeah.
But when you get out of it, all you want to do is help people. All you want to do is share, let's say like you've got millions of dollars. Like all you want to do is like, help people.
Yeah. Because you're overfilling with love.
You're overfilling. That's exactly it. You're overfilling, overflowing. Like if I didn't have you and doing this live, I would have all this energy going to like the wall. Like, nobody would hear me, right? I would feel so, constricted, right? That feels terrible. And so I love how you talked about the diamond, right? And just having to dust it off. And another way that I look at it is it's like we're a sculpture, right? And we're just a big block. And like we need to chip away everything that's not us because it's keeping us, enclosed, and we can't shine. We can't be the fullness of who we are because we're stuck in, cement or whatever, marble. And so we need to chip away everything that's not us. So we always think we have to find ourselves. Who are we? What do I have to do? Right? It's not that. It's be. Just chip away all that crap. And what's left is everything that we always think, well, it's kind of like, when we meditate and we think empty your thoughts, right? Empty your thought. And then you're like, well, then there's nothing there. But then it's like, actually everything is there. Like it's not nothingness. It's just everything, every possibility, all your power. You're not clouded like you were talking about, with your thoughts and your judgments and your labels and your keeping you stuck. You know, this is so hard. Da, da, da. All that clears out and everything is left.
I
Right?
love that. And I like just analogy just came to me. It's so interesting. I bounce off a lot of epiphanies with you. I
Yes.
realized, but it's like, whoa, this is awesome. A great dynamic here. And so when you were talking about that marble, it's almost like if we chipped away the marble, which is the crap or the conditioning and everything, then the more you do the inner work, the more you became the masterpiece that is the sculpture, right? And that's your authentic you. So that to me, it's like a great analogy and like, oh, what we're doing right now, why it is so vital to do the inner work, which most people discard or disregard, thinking that it's like, you know what, if one day I have time, I will do that. But it's like the work to do in order to get anything we want, because the source came from here, not from the external, right? Like you said.
Exactly. 100%.
Yeah. And sorry, I think I totally derailed because I got too excited. So
I like
what is your
it.
process again?
Yes. Okay.
Recognize was the first part. And then we
Recognize.
talk for another 40 minutes.
We're at step one, guys. We got a
Ah,
few more to go. Okay. Yes, recognize that's your awakening with what's alive inside of you, your human self. Okay. The next is releasing it, and so this is what I call the deprogramming part. This is your operating system. You want to deprogram. You want to let all that go energetically. Okay. The next one is I call it reunite. This is where you reunite with the power that you are. You already are. You don't have to go find her somewhere else. You're already there, but you also reunite with the energy of everything around you. Okay, I want to help dissolve all of our separation, our ideas that we're all separate, that we all have these facades, right? Even just things in your room, everything is energy. Okay,
yes.
and then
Yes.
when you get into an ascended state, I see it as three pillars of ascension, which is unity consciousness, so absolute oneness with everything and everyone, unconditional love, because you're one with everything. So then there's just oneness, like there's just love that you don't hate, yourself, you just, or hate other people. It's
They're
just a
part of you.
natural,
Mhm.
yeah, it's a natural part of you. A natural side effect is unconditional love. And unconditional love, when I say that, is not the love that we know. Okay, we're very conditional as
Yes.
humans. Yeah,
Right.
even with our kids or our spouses or whatever, it's like we're a little conditional. And then the third pillar I see is pure presence, being
Mm.
in the moment, in the
Yes.
moment, without all the thoughts and the judgments and the labels and this and the expectations, the attachments, all of that stuff cleared out. It's just absolutely pure presence in the moment, and not thinking, oh, I wish I was in the past, or oh, I wish I was in the future.
Mm.
It's gold. It's gold being purely present. It's like what a tree would do, or a flower, or a blade of grass, right? Is they're purely present in the moment. They're not judging the weather. They're not judging if it's nighttime or daytime, and if things have come and gone, and if they've got stepped on or whatever. It's just they're just present. They're present in the moment, and they're experiencing life as it is. They're not judging it,
Mhm.
right? They're not letting their power be taken away by all these thoughts of it should be better than this.
Yes. And
Someone should serve me better.
that's true. And beautiful moments happen. It's so interesting because I have a story to share in regards to tapping into a presence or the present moment. I remember walking down the street in Toronto, and it's really rare for me to really not think, because mentally I'm always like, oh, what should I do next? Or like I'm analyzing, or I'm like, very in my head. And then I was just clearly looking around at the trees, and how beautiful it's like swaying, against the wind. And that moment of pure bliss and gratitude, or just being alive almost. And so I think I tap into my alignment at the time.
Yes.
And it's fascinating. I literally have everyone start smiling at me.
Sorry.
And I literally having people start smiling at me.
Oh.
And I had a guy hit on me, which doesn't usually happen. Because he said something about your energy. So it's like, So it really says a lot when you're kind of like getting back in the present and not think so much or judge so much with that noise, then you can really be aware of everything and your energy changes, you alignment changes. That's when beautiful things happen to you.
Exactly. And you become more magnetic. It's not like you were trying to be more
No.
magnetic. It's
Mhm.
just a natural side effect of who you were in that moment. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm just really excited about this class. Oh, I think there's like some crackling sound. I hope that's okay. Um, uh, so can you explain to us what the master class is going to include? Because I know we can talk forever.
I know we can. So yes, I'm going to talk about, I'm going to really teach and go deep into each step. And so I'm sharing with you the steps now, but I'm not sharing with you the everything I need to share with you for
But
you
like
to
how?
practice it
Right.
yourself, and how, and I want to walk you through it. And I'm going to address the different perspectives that everyone has of like, well, how do you do it like this? And how do you like that?
Mm,
So basically I went to 3 steps where the third one is reunite. So you reunite with all the energies, and you allow yourself to ascend. You transcend your human limitations, and you ascend into your highest consciousness. And from there, you re-energize. So this is where the reawakening happens. You awoken the first part by what's alive inside of you, but also you get to reawaken to the deeper truth of what is, right? The deeper truth, the deeper knowing, the wisdom, the guidance, everything that it comes from within is accessible. And I'm going to take you guys there into how it relates to the problem that you're having. We always start with a problem, or some type of irritation, some type of agitated state, right? And then we have this understanding that's absolutely like unshakable. And
that's
then
so amazing.
the last part is I love every step. Actually, this is one of my favorite parts. Is the last step is called rewiring. Okay, this is where we actually reprogram you to have this embodiment, this ascended state in a triggering moment. So
Mm,
you know how when they did the research of the basketball players, right? And there's a basketball player that the group that just practiced in their mind, I don't know, like an hour a day, something like that, for a couple weeks, shooting free throws just over and over and over, always getting out, but they weren't allowed to practice in real life, right? They just could practice in their minds. And then this other group that was able to practice in real life, shoot, 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 for an hour a day or whatever it was. And then the results were the people that trained in their mind did significantly better than those that trained physically. And so what I'd like to walk you guys through is to actually be in that ascended state in those triggering moments so much that your brain recognizes it in real life. So you'll do it in real, you'll come into this triggering moment in real life, and your brain's gonna be like,
mm,
I've been here and I shined. I loved on this person who was lashing out at me. Or I
mm.
met this moment lovingly or powerfully or whatever. I didn't shrink and contract like I used to. I was the fullness of who I was, and I was compassionate, and I came up with creative solutions and I want to reprogram, help people learn how to do this on their own. I'm not here to like make people be crutches on me, because some healers, some people will be like, well, I will do that for you, but I want to teach you to do it on your own. And if you need specific help or something, I'm here for you. But I want to teach you guys the process for free. I think that's crazy, but
That
I
is
was
crazy.
guided to do this. I was
Mm,
like just give this away, because you're going to change lives, and they're going to change lives, and they're going to change lives. And so this is so powerful. I just want to share this. And so that is the last part, is the rewiring. Um, that I think I was going to say something else. Oh, and you know what I realized is the people that were actually practicing basketball in real life, they were actually programming and reprogramming their minds to miss. You shoot, you miss, you shoot, you miss. They're programming their minds to realize like, hey, you're not going to get 100%. No,
mm.
you're going to miss, you're going to, but, and that's okay. And that's expected. But the people that were actually programming in their minds were training their minds. I'm going to shoot 100%. Like,
Wow.
I'm not going to miss. I'm going to freaking do this. And it showed up in real life, right? That's powerful.
Fascinating.
It is fascinating.
It's completely opposite of what we're doing right now, right?
Go practice your piano. Go practice your violin. Go practice. I'm like, Mom, I'll just do it in my head.
You're right. Mentally rehearse it, as Joe Dispenza said.
Exactly.
Interesting. Wow, that's
what
fascinating.
Joe Dispenza did. He did that to heal himself. He mentally
Mhm.
rehearsed it
He did.
over and over.
Yeah. So it's actually research as well. So it's not just a woo-woo thing that we're throwing out right here.
No. Yeah.
That is such a beautiful share. And I 100% know that your process is very comprehensive. I have done a lot of inner work. So everything that you're saying, everything makes sense. But I think you put it into a beautiful process that's very logical, that makes a lot of sense. That's why I know for a fact that it will be such a big impact for people. And seriously, it's free.
You know what? If you want to throw
wrong.
money, if you want to throw money at me, you can. But you know, it is free. I'm offering it for free, and I couldn't be happier about it. I couldn't be more excited about it. And if you want to share it with people, friends, family, or whatever, like the more the merrier. It doesn't hurt me to serve more people, right?
For sure. Honestly, my why on this earth is when everyone heals, everyone wins.
Exactly.
So
And you know what? If one person heals, then we heal, right? Like if I can help one person, I'm gonna heal too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all a win-win, just like you said.
Yeah. Oh, it's so beautiful. I'm so excited. So when is the course? Tell us, what's the name of it? Where can people access?
Well, how about I'll put a link in the comments after this for where to register. It's called the what is it called? The Breakthrough Empowerment Process. I said a name earlier today and it keeps sticking with me. I said the Energetic Breakthrough Process. I'm like, that's really cool. But no, the Breakthrough Empowerment Process is what it's called, what I'm going to teach you guys. And it starts, I think, March 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. So it's a 4-part series. That way I don't ram it into your face like this. We go through one step at a time to where it feels more digestible.
Is it like a Zoom link thing that people get into so they can ask you like intimate questions, or is it like what is the format of it?
Yeah, I was just gonna do it in Facebook Lives.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's great.
It's so funny because people with Zoom, they don't want to show up live. They don't want to show up on the audio and
right.
So I just decided to do it in the Facebook Live this time. Yeah.
Great. So people have access to it. I'll just link that as well. Yeah. And so each session is about 1 hour?
I'm gonna aim for about an hour.
Just wondering.
Try and condense it so I'm not talking.
You have so much gold nuggets. I mean, we can talk about that forever. I love this. Thank you so much. Like, this has been wonderful, and like it's turning my wheels as well. So it's helping me a lot, and hopefully it's helping everybody else as well. Like, let us know in the comments. And yeah, Howie has been here. Totally missed that his comments here, but thank you for being here, and Tony as well. All right. So thank you guys for being here. Sorry, I think for some reason my headsets, it's cheap and I need to like fix it. But until next time though, dare to be authentic. We'll come back and circle back around maybe in March because I am moving to Vancouver. And hopefully maybe you will as well.
I know, maybe I'll be there too.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, anyways, thank you guys. Take care.
Thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.